What's up, everybody? This is Reverend Guns, and today we are going to be taking apart and cleaning a Remington 1911 R1. This is a 45 auto. So the first thing we want to do is to check it and clear it. So there is a button right here behind the trigger that you want to press, and when you do, it causes the magazine to come out. We don't want any cleaners or solvents on this, so let's set this far away from our cleaning station until we're done. Next, you're going to see a little lever right here. That's going to push upward when you pull the slide back. So, pull the slide back all the way, push up on the lever, and release the slide. It should lock it into place. Now, we can look down on the barrel there and see there's nothing in the chamber. Now that we know that it is clear, it is safe to work on now. So we're going to go ahead and unclock the slide here. You can do that by pulling back on the slide itself and put it back in its resting position. I'm going to leave the hammer cocked back for this. Now we're going to turn the pistol upward, and Remington provided a barrel bushing wrench here, and what it does is it's going to depress this button here and allow you to move this silver bushing either way. The way you want to go is clockwise to get this bushing out, or to get this spring cap out. So take your barrel wrench, fit it how it fits on the bushing there, push down on the spring, and slide it until it wants to stop. You can go about 90 degrees, that's more than enough. Now be careful when taking this off. This cap here has the spring behind it, and it's going to try and release itself. So you want to be careful and slowly take it off, so you can take the cap off. Okay, we'll set that there. You no longer really need this. It's just to get that cap off. Now you do want to spin the barrel nut counterclockwise, bushing, whatever you want to call it, all the way pretty much as far as it'll go to the left there, and this will allow you to take the bushing off. There we go. We'll set that over there. Let's flip it over to the side again. Now you can look at the slide here and see that there's two notches in it. This bigger one was to lock the slide in place. This littler one is to take the slide lock lever out. So what you want to do is line up the little notch here with the top of the slide lock here. And when you do, right about there, you'll flip it over, and there's a little ball and button sitting here. You want to push that in. That should allow the lock lever here, slide lock lever, to protrude out a little bit. You can now pull the whole lever out. I'll set that aside. Now you should be able to just slide the entire slide right off. Okay, now looking at the slide itself, you'll want to take out the guide rod and spring. These do separate. Make it for easy cleaning there. Alright, and then the last piece in here is the barrel. You'll see there's a flapping hole here. See that? Yeah, you want that pushed towards the exit of the barrel there, and that'll allow you to push the barrel all the way out the front. Alright, these are the pieces we will be cleaning today. I'm going to go ahead and spray everything down with some gun cleaner, just to give everything a nice clean coat here. And while that's doing its thing, I'll explain what tools I got sitting here. So I've got a soft bristle brush. It's got a little detail end on it. It's the majority of what I use for my cleaning. If I have some real stubborn carbon, I'll use a harder bristle brush. It's not too often I use this, but I will not use the metal or brass brushes because I don't want to take the chance on scratching up anything and damaging it in any way. So if you've got a good cleaner, the soft bristle brush is more than enough. Speaking of cleaner, this is all opinion and preference. I suggest you try out different gun cleaners and see what you like best. I've got a 45 cal barrel brush here. I've got a slotted cleaning rod to finish off the barrel. Got a screwdriver, we didn't need it for this one. I've got a the 1911 barrel bushing wrench. That comes in handy when you're taking these apart. I got some gun oil. I've got a gun oil rag. I've got some patches here. Q-tips sometimes come in handy. And I've got some rags here to wipe things off as we go. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the barrel because it is mainly the one thing you want to do a certain way. Everything else you can pretty much just scrub and go at it. There's no rhyme or reason to that. But as far as the barrel is concerned, grab your barrel brush and you want to stick it in the chamber side and push all the way through to the front. The reason why we don't go in from this end is because we don't want to ding it, chip it, damage this in any way. It can cause accuracy issues and other problems, so we're trying to prevent that. So we go in from the back. And yes, that means two things. And just give everything a nice scrub down. And it might feel a little gritty at first. That's okay, nothing wrong with that. It'll smoothen out after some scrubbing. And after about a minute or so, you'll want to call it good. Now we'll grab our soft bristle brush and just go around the whole thing. Get the end real good. Any grooves. And once you've gotten that brushed off, we can go ahead and take our slotted cleaning rod. And I'm going to grab 2 patches with this. This is a large barrel. And I like to make sure it gets a nice tight wipe down as I'm putting this through. So we'll rip a couple patches through. And same thing again, you'll want to go in from the back, push all the way through. Let's take a look at that. See all that black on there? That's what we're trying to remove. So we're going to keep doing this until we don't see any more black on there. And this could take just a few times. This could take several times. It all depends on how many rounds you fired through it. So grab a couple more, pull it through, and from the back. Alright, let's check that out. And this is looking better. It's a little lighter. We'll do that one more time just for good measure. This'll never leave a completely white patch here. It's going to be gray, and it might look like it's wet. But the main thing is to get all the black stuff out of there. Alright, let's take a look at that. You know what? That looks pretty good. So I'm going to call the barrel done. So we'll give this a wipe off here. Get the rest of everything we brushed off wiped off. Alright, barrel is done. We'll run through these other small pieces real quick just to get them done and out of the way, because these don't take long at all to do. Nothing wrong with cleaning off everything you got. Everything gets dirty. Set that aside. Let's do the spring real quick. Wipe that off. Wipe this off. This is the slide lock lever. Get the cap. This is the spring cap. That off. Shove the rag in the hole here. Still make sure there's nothing in there. Alright. And we got the guide rod. I'll make sure this is clean. that off. Let's go ahead and work on the slide. You're just trying to break everything loose so it'll be easy to wipe off. Want to make sure you get down in the slide rail here. Get the striker plate good. Let's get in the barrel here real good. Get anywhere on the outside you'd like. I like to get the thumb grooves around the sight. Get around the front sight. And anywhere else you want to brush off and clean. Not going to hurt it. Like I said, this is why I don't use the metal brushes, so you can just easily go over any of it. And now we'll give this a wipe down. We're just wiping off everything we just brushed off. Areas you can't get with your finger, that's what Q-tips come in handy for. You can really get down into those smaller areas and get them cleaned off. See that? We're also going to do that for the rails too. We don't want anything in there that can possibly contaminate it, so, and cause it to not cycle correctly. I'll wipe off the striker plate here. Alright, slide is done. Let's move on to the frame. You just get everywhere you can. Break it clean. Slide rails real good. Get the feeding ramp real well. Get the hammer. Get around buttons. trigger has little grooves in it, and that can get dirty. Get around the grips. Alright. Alright, once you're done with that, we can wipe that off. Get anywhere you can, and what you can't get to with your finger, we will go at with a Q-tip. I like to make sure I get all the holes and everything too. Alright, time for some lube. Let's grab our oil rag and some oil. And I guess we'll go biggest parts first. So on the frame, what you're looking for here is any scratches or scrapes or anything that looks like it is rubbing, metal on metal. Those are the contact points, and we want to make sure that we wipe those down. So you want to make sure you get the slide rail real good. Both sides. Looks like it's rubbing up here, so we'll grab that. I personally put a little bit on the feeding ramp, and that's all I'm gonna lube for the frame. The slide, same thing. We are looking for scratches, scrapes, metal on metal contact. So anywhere you see rubbing, you want to make sure it's got lubrication. And on the slide, make sure you lube the slide rail real well. And that looks like everything on the slide. So slide's done. The barrel, same thing. We're looking for rub marks, scrapes, scratches. Anywhere you see a blemish, you basically want to lube it. Now I always do the entire shaft of the barrel because it's an internal part, and then I'll look at the chamber and take a look to see where it rubs and make sure I get some oil on that as well. There we go. Let's see here. Guide rod spring, you really don't have to do that. The guide rod I'll do it on the shaft of it because the spring goes over this and we want it to do it freely. The cap, you could, I would just do it down the outside shaft part. You don't have to. The barrel bushing here, really, I guess you could. It locks into place, so any lube you put on here is basically just to get it in and out. The slide lock lever, I'm going to do just the pin part of it because that's what we're going to insert into the frame. And that'll just help us pop it back in, put it back together. So let's go ahead and put it back together. I'm going to start with the slide. I've got muzzle end to my left here. I'm going to take the barrel. And again, you've got this little floppy hole here. I'm going to make sure that's pointed to the front of the barrel so it will slide into place. Okay, and it'll seat just by itself like that. And we'll move the little hole, flopping hole back. We'll take the guide rod and spring and stick it on over the rod just like that. Now you're going to notice this has a V in it. This V straddles the barrel. So when you put this spring in the hole below the barrel here, you'll push it until it is straddling the barrel and then just push it back. It seats itself. Okay, so right now this is what it should look like. See that? And I've got the hole there for a reason. We want it there in that position like that. Okay. Now we're going to take the frame and the two front parts of the slide rail here are going to insert into the back in these two notches here. And it just slides on in. Now, this is where this hole is important. You want this hole to line up with this hole when you slide it back on. So push it in from the back. Hold the guide rod. And watch the hole line up with the hole in the frame. And once you're to that point, you can take the lock lever. Okay, this only goes on one way, and it's easy to remember. Whoop, I just moved it. Let's put it back. There we go. Okay, the hole goes in the hole. The end goes in the square. I go in the hole first and just below the square, so it kind of flops down like this, right? Now I'll kind of push it up. It'll be nice to me. There we go, snapped into place. So now, again, the same way we took it off, we put that little notch right above the slide lock lever here, and that will allow us to snap the slide lock lever back into place. So line it up and push it in. You want to make sure it snaps all the way in. Now you can slide the slide back all the way to the forward position, and it should stop you just like that. We'll point the pistol upward again. We're going to put the barrel bushing back on first. So if you remember, it's got a little knob here. It lines up with the spring as you set it down. That'll allow you to push the barrel bushing back on, and you'll want to twist it all the way clockwise again, and we will use the spring cap here to compress down into the hole. And spin. Okay, that's not going to be nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our wrench and we will push it down with the wrench and use the wrench to lock it in place. Alright, let's do a function check. Looks good to me. So let's give this one more wipe down. Grab a clean rag here. Just go over everything. Wiping off any excess oil, cleaner, solvents, anything. This is our time to polish it off and make it look pretty. Alright. And there you have it. We just took apart, cleaned, oiled, and put back together a Remington R1. This is a 45 auto. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. I also offer the online course to get your Texas license to carry a handgun. It's the 4-hour class broken down into segments and saves your progress so you can do it at your own pace. After completing the course, you will be able to print your certificate. Then, it'll help you locate an instructor close to you, no matter where you are in Texas, so you can complete the shooting portion of the course. This is all certified by the Texas Department of Public Safety. Check it out at reverendguns.com. If you have any questions or comments, please add them below. Be sure to like and subscribe for more firearms education.